So, I recently posted a video called Restoring a Bastion to Its Former Glory. And, holy cow, that video kind of exploded. I genuinely didn't expect that many people to watch it, let alone enjoy it. But you did, so naturally, I'm milking the concept. And today, we're diving way deeper, both literally and figuratively. Because I decided to restore one of the most cursed, terrifying, rage-inducing places in all of Minecraft. The Ancient City. Yeah, you know the one. Dark, silent, covered in weird blue slime stuff, and haunted by a one-shotting machine known as the Warden. Personally, I hate it. Every time I go there, I end up dying, one way or another. I never leave with my gear. But anyway, today we are restoring an ancient city. Boy, is this going to be a fun one. So step one was starting a fresh world and locating an ancient city. After that, I got to work on the first major task, deleting all the skulk. At first I thought it would be satisfying to remove it all by hand, but that would have taken hours to clear. So I just used world edit. Poof, all that skulk, gone. Now that was satisfying. Oh, and quick fun fact I didn't know until this build, Deep Slate is a directional block, as in you could accidentally place it sideways. And let me just say, that's one of the dumbest things I've discovered in this game. No idea why it's like that. Probably to make my life harder. Once the skulk was gone, and the blocks were patched up, I started rebuilding. I didn't really have a plan. I just kinda picked a spot and started placing blocks where I felt like they belonged. A deep slate brick here, a tile there, and obviously I chose the biggest structure in the entire city to start with, other than the center. Because that's exactly what you should do when you have no idea what you're doing. Turns out, there's some kind of ancient spa. There was a pool, a hot tub, and candles everywhere. Honestly, a chill vacay spot. Like the deep dark version of a luxury resort. 10 out of 10 would get jump scared in again. After that, I moved on to the walkways that snake around the city. These things are so weird. There's random bits of wall art, candles, staircases that lead nowhere, the whole shebang. Eventually I made my way to the big central structure, you know, the one that kind of anchors the whole city. Now, I need to replace the gray wool, because I'm assuming that was added after the Warden terrorized the city. I tried swapping in different blocks, deep slate, polished deep slate, cobbled deep slate, the whole family, but nothing looked quite right, so I tabled it for later. Then I worked on the walkway to the main building and the pillars surrounding it. And I found this really weird room tucked off to the side. It looked like a laboratory, and candles all over the place. And even a skeleton skull. And in the middle, a miniature version of the city's main structure. And there was also a little shrine with soul fire. Hate to break it to you, but Herobrine doesn't exist. No, wait, I didn't mean like that. I can explain. Anyway, nearby I came across a tiny house. Nothing much to say here. It's just a sad little cube. Next to it was this 2-story building that would easily go for 5 million in today's economy. I couldn't tell if the roof was supposed to be half or full, since it looked like the edge was broken. I tried rebuilding it based on what I thought was originally supposed to look like, but I wanted to be completely sure. I needed a blueprint. Something to hint at what this once was. So that's when this genius idea hit me. Why don't I just spawn in a brand new ancient city and look at the original version of this building? What could possibly go wrong, right? Oh boy, could I be further from the truth. So I fly up to the surface and type in the command to generate a new city. Nothing happens. I try again. Still nothing. Third time's a charm? Wrong. After 3 failures, I watched the video.
Let's say you want to place structure, ancient city right here. We can do that, we can press enter, but as you can see there is no ancient city here. Only if we go down under the floor, at the very bottom of our world, we'll see that an ancient city has generated down here.
And then it hit me. There it is. When slash placing an ancient city, its Y level is always -51, which means I just spawned multiple ancient cities directly where I was building. I dropped back down to my build, or rather, lack thereof. My entire build, gone. Wiped out. overwritten, replaced by a fresh default ancient city like mine never existed. I wanted to punch the Mojang employee who coded that in. Who thought that that was something the game needed? Now all my progress was gone. It crushed me. I just stood there, staring at the rubble. I'll be honest, I almost quit. But do you know what we do when we fall? We get the freak back up. Eventually. After like a week. So, after my recovery, I started a new world, found another ancient city, and this time I left all the skulk. You see, if I had the skulk, I could better trace the shapes of buildings while I restored them. Now, this city had some familiar buildings from the last one, but also a few I hadn't seen before, like this icebox looking structure, a weird outpost tower, and a few shapes that looked like corrupted Tetris pieces. This time around, I finally settled on using polished deepslate to replace the gray wool. Don't ask why, I just felt like it. Then I dove into the redstone room under the city. Now listen, I'm not terrible at redstone. In fact, I once built an entire calculator with redstone dedication, and my knowledge of computer science. It was actually going to be a video, but I scrapped it. Let me know if you would like to see that. So, I consider myself a bit of an expert. And let me tell you, this room, chaos. Absolute chaos. It looked like a 3-year-old built it. And if you're wondering, it didn't even work. Nice going, Mojang. Eventually, I realized one tiny piece of dust was out of place, and once I fixed it, the circuit worked. It was a flip-flop, a redstone design that turns a pulse, like from a button or skulk sensor in this case, into a toggle switch. Cool idea, but like, I can build the same thing in a 2x3x3 box. This one was like 13x5x1. I mean, I respect the effort, but at some point, you gotta step back and ask, is this a redstone contraption or a lag machine? Like, really? Now, after that chaotic mess, I turned to the next chaotic mess. The ruins. These were basically scattered pieces of rubble. I honestly thought it was just loose debris from the cave ceiling that had fallen. They're basically just sad reminders that something used to be there. But I had a thought. These ancient builders had to survive somehow, right? So, where did they get their food? That's when I started rebuilding the ruins as farms, adding plots for wheat, carrots, potatoes, plus pens for cows and sheep. Now it felt like an actual city, where people lived, not just a haunted tomb. And there was no evidence to suggest that these had ever been farms, but I really don't care. I was honestly done at this point. Now, the last thing was the lighting. Now, yeah, the original city was super dark, probably because everyone living there was adapted to the low light levels in the ancient city. But I needed to actually see what I was doing. So I added lanterns around key areas. Not too bright, just enough to show off the builds without killing the atmosphere. And that was it. At last, it was finished. The ancient city, restored. No skulk, no gloom, no warden lurking in the shadows, just a reborn ruin. Brought back to life, block by block. Would I do it again? No. Hey guys, if you got to this point, thank you for watching to the end of the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, tell your friends about this channel. I only have a handful of subscribers, so if you would subscribe, it'd mean the world to me. It's a button click for you, but it's life-changing for me. So I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.